Guys, Token Vaping, employed with Pacific Vapes, and today's flavor review is going a little bit back in history. The name of the juice company is the Founding Fathers. Now, this is really actually pretty cool. They sent me out their flavor menu, but it is laminated, forgive the lighting, with their flavors and a little bit of the backstory behind why they picked the flavors for that particular person. Now, as it states, it's the Founding Fathers. So it's basically based on the Founding Fathers of the United States, as far as the Declaration of Independence. So you have Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson, Patrick Henry, John Adams, I believe. Yep, John Adams, Ben Franklin, and George Washington. So some of the main big names in the history of the United States. Each flavor has basically been kind of patterned towards a specific trait or I don't want to excuse me, basically towards like something about that specific person. So it's kind of just associating it with that particular character. But again, like I said, they laminated it and they sent it, so I can actually use this as a placemat. This is actually really cool. This is neat. So thank you very much, Founding Fathers. The name of the company is Founding Fathers Liquid. You can go to the website foundingfathersliquid.com, where you can purchase these bottles for them. Now, they do offer two sizes, a 30 ml and a 120 ml. Their 30 ml retails for $20. The 120 ml retails for $60. So if you like any of the flavors enough, purchasing the 120 is actually kind of a better deal, as they let me know as well. If you think about it, for $60 you get a 120 ml. The 30 mls are 20, so that's 90 mls right there for $60. But you're basically getting a 30 ml for free. Now, granted, you can't mix and match them all into separate, but if you try this line and there's a particular flavor that you like, getting a 120 ml nowadays is pretty common, and just basically gives you a bit more juice. So you get a little bit more for your money in that aspect. They are based out of Springfield, Missouri, and their mix ratio is a 75-25. So honestly, that's kind of a little different, which is cool. I mean, it's always nice to see people taking different steps or options for things like that. Most either do the 70-30 or they jump up to the 80-20. These guys just stuck at the 75-25 to give it a shot, see how it is, and I think it actually works for them. The one thing that I think is really, really cool, that I did find out about them, is that they do their flavors in small batches, but they steep them at about 115 degrees for 2 weeks before shipping them. That's really cool to me, just because it shows their dedication and their support for the vaping community. They want to make sure that what they're sending out is at the best flavor capacity possible for that batch. Steeping a bottle of juice or a batch of juice at 115 degrees for 2 weeks solid, you're pretty much, you're going to ensure that whatever flavor is in that batch is definitely going to be there. So the fact that they put that much effort and attention to detail to it is actually really, really cool to me. They offer 4 nicotine levels: a 0, a 3, a 6, and instead of going to a 12 like a lot of companies do, they went to a 9. Again, something a little different. It's pretty cool. You don't get such a jump going from a 6, doubling it straight to a 12. That's a big jump in nicotine. So they go to the 9, which is just a little bit under, but it's still more than adequate for people who vape. Nicotine, that is. Now, most of these flavors, I'm not going to say the flavors themselves, with the exception of 2, in my opinion, from what I've come across so far, but most of these flavors, I'm not going to say are unique specifically as far as a flavor. However, one thing that I definitely think is I believe these guys definitely hit where that flavor profile should be. Now, don't get me wrong, as I stated in all my other videos, I am in no way, shape, or form trying to say that what I feel or my opinion for a particular company is, law. I'm not going to say that just because I'm doing the review for them at this moment that everything that I say at the moment is definite, matter of fact, 100% set in stone. This is just my opinion. Now, I have tried a lot of these flavor styles before in other companies, and while I've come across good ones, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good companies out there. In no way am I trying to take away from any of them. Absolutely not. I'm not a mixologist. I'm not an expert in any of this. I just like to pride myself a little bit that I do know a bit about juice companies and processing behind the scenes for juice companies due to the interaction and all of the support and helpfulness that I've gotten from different juice companies. However, like I said, I feel that for some of these flavors, this company, Founding Fathers Liquid, was able to find the right spot for them, for what they were trying to do. So while I may like another variation of it with a different company, that's just it. They're variations. But for what Founding Fathers is doing, I believe they hit it on the button for themselves, for them. Now, that doesn't mean if they gave their specific formula to a different company that it would be just as perfect. Everybody does things a little differently. The facilities that they're made in are all done differently. Your altitude, location, everything has to be taken into effect. So all I'm saying is for Founding Fathers Liquid, what they're trying to put out, I believe they hit it on the button with this line. Every flavor, with the exception of one. Now, this isn't their fault, but one of their flavors, the American Fabius, it's based on George Washington. It's supposed to be an apple pie, just because he was the first president. Apple pie is basically synonymous with America, of that nature. However, due to my postal company, in transit, that bottle got busted, so I never got a chance to actually try that flavor. So, for what I smelled, it smelled great. Don't get me wrong. So if it vaped anything like it smells, it would have been a solid vape. However, with that said, the other ones that I want to tell you real quick is, now what's cool about it is, let me show you the bottle first, actually, and I'll actually show you my favorite out of the entire line that I've tried. This is my favorite one. It is called Little Lion. And that's Alexander Hamilton. He's, I believe, on the $10 bill. They have the ingredients here, warning label, little caricature artwork, and the artwork on this stuff is amazing. Let me tell you right there, whoever they got to do this stuff, the talent on that is amazing. It's definitely different. It's definitely unique. So it definitely stands out, which is really cool. As you can see on the lion here, its mane is banana peel, and the tail end into a blueberry. This is a banana blueberry, blueberry banana cream, sorry, is how the flavor is listed. It's called Little Lion. There is the nicotine. And it has a little quote from the person itself. This quote is from Alexander Hamilton. The only downside to it is because of the labeling and everything. Obviously, they can't make it huge. So it is a little hard to read if you are trying to read them to see what it says. This one says, there is a certain enthusiasm in liberty that makes human nature rise above itself in acts of bravery and heroism. So it's cool that they have little quotes from the character themselves. I think I just tilted this so that it leaked. But the label pretty much has everything standard to it that it needs. Now, I did have to open them, obviously. But I do want to note that there is a plastic safety seal on these bottles when they come shipped. It is a frosted glass bottle. As you can see here, it's not a clear. So that helps contain the flavor as well without clouding it up too much. But it has the warning, the ingredients, the nicotine, the name, the picture, and everything else that's standard and customary on the labels. Also has their website right here as well. So well done. Like I said, the artwork is absolutely amazing on that. Now, I did say the Little Lion was my favorite out of this line. The blueberry banana cream on that is, I mean, first hit straight up banana. Absolutely, without a doubt, even smells it. Um, you definitely get the banana out of that. However, the tail end of that is going to be blueberry. On the exhale, I definitely taste the blueberry. The cream pretty much follows through the entire vape. So it was really interesting to see how they melded all three of them together, but still kind of kept them separate just in general. So as a blueberry banana cream, I mean, if I had to tell it to somebody, I would probably say the banana first just because that's what I get out of it first. But regardless, overall, very solid vape, very mellow. As you can see, most of these, there's only one that's really dark, but they are pretty much kind of clearer. This one's the Ben Franklin. There's one that is darker out of here, and that's the Jefferson one. But it's not even really dark. My cotton didn't get completely gummed up. It didn't die out like sometimes they do when you're using a thicker flavor or something to where it makes the cotton look really dank or dark. Sorry. They vape very clean, very light. I was actually kind of impressed. A lot of the flavors in this you would think would have a heavier taste to them. They all vaped really mellow, really light. When they say an all-day vape, I mean that's what they were definitely going for, is something that you could vape all day, still get enough of the flavor, but not feel too heavy with it to where you start vaping less and less later on in the day. You can still vape on these pretty regularly, which is a very good thing for an all-day vape. But just the Little Lion, just a definite solid flavor. Blueberry and banana. Blueberry is a strong flavor. A lot of flavors that I've vaped on that have blueberry in it that you definitely taste it, but sometimes it's a little strong. It is a strong flavor. However, like I said, Founding Fathers Liquid, they did manage to figure out where to hit that point with it to make it just enough so that it's not too much. Orator is Patrick Henry, and that's this one here. This one is a Blackberry Shortcake. Now, I will tell you this right now off the bat. If you are a fan of Blackberry, you will absolutely love this flavor. If you are not a fan of Blackberry, you will probably not be a fan of this flavor because instantly from the smell, the vape, all the way through, the main thing that you get is Blackberry. I will be honest, the Shortcake, I didn't so much get Shortcake as I did kind of more of a graham crackery type pie, but I don't know if that's just because I'm more used to tasting that when I taste something that's supposed to be in a pie style. But you definitely taste some form of a pastry aftertaste of it that basically lets you know that it's not just blackberry. However, blackberry is a little rich for my taste. This is not something that I could vape on all day, but it's definitely something that I could definitely vape for something different. It is unique. Not many people are using the blackberry flavor. But like I said, if you are a true fan of Blackberry, you will absolutely love this vape on it. But it is a little rich for those of you who either aren't a huge fan of it or don't like it. What was the other one? Sage and Monticello. Now, anybody who ever associates anybody with Monticello, it's Thomas Jefferson, second president. This is a key lime sugar cookie. This so far was probably, I would say, the only negative thing I can say about this line, if at all. The key lime I definitely get. I have vaped a few key lime pie juices since I started doing this, so I definitely get the key lime out of that. Definitely matches up to some of the best ones I've tried. Definitely hold its own. The only aspect of it is it's supposed to be a key lime sugar cookie, and unfortunately I just got nothing of the sugar cookie aspect. I didn't get any type of pastry. I didn't get any type of a cookie taste. I mean, nothing. Basically, all it tasted like to me was key lime. Now, again, This is just me. My palate is going to be much different than the next person tries this. I could have my neighbor try this, and they may just taste the sugar cookie and not really get the key lime, which would be kind of hard because key lime is a really potent flavor. But my point is, again, just because I may have had trouble tasting something in it does not mean that it's not there. My flavor palette is just different than the next person. So for me, I definitely got the key lime. I just didn't get enough or at all of the sugar cookie to really say that it was on point in that. Out of this entire line, with the exception of one, and I'll explain that to you in a second, with the exception of that one, out of this line, that would probably be the only one that I could say something negative about. It's not really a huge negative. It's just, for me, I just didn't get the sugar cookie. The Polymath is Benjamin Franklin, which is this one right here, and they have him with the kite and lightning. That one is an orange pineapple tropical fruit. Now, that one actually kind of caught me off guard because I was expecting kind of like a fruit juicy type flavor off of that. I was definitely surprised, but for the better. What I got out of it was kind of an orange dreamsicle punch. And it was really different for me because it's not something that I normally would choose as a vape. Off the smell, it's definitely orange. I mean, you definitely get orange, and then on the tail end of it, you get more of a tropical feel out of that. But like I said, when you vape it, you instantly taste the orange mixed into the pineapple, and then the tail end of that is a tropical. But overall, the way that it blends together, it almost, for me, tasted like an orange creamsicle, juicy type punch style, which was actually really cool because if it was an actual drink on ice, sitting on a beach or something like that, it would be an amazing drink for me. I mean, that's something that I could definitely kick back and drink. So flavor wise, it was definitely on point. It was definitely solid. It was definitely a nice surprise. Like I said, I was not expecting it to vape the way that it did. So it was definitely awesome with that. Now, the only other one that I was saying before as the exception is the John Adams, which is this one here. And as you can tell by what he's got there, the flavor profile is supposed to be Swedish fish. Now, the only reason why I haven't said anything about it specifically is because I haven't tried it. I opened it and I smelled it, but I saved it for the video so I could do a quick taste test on this for the video itself. Yep, definitely smells like Swedish fish. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the candy. I'm just not a huge fan of candy in general, but the Swedish fish always seemed like a gummy candy that sat out too long, so it was always really harder than a normal gummy bear or gummy worm or something like that when I bit into it, so I was never a huge fan of it. But the taste was never bad. It always had a decent taste, I just could never get past, I had trouble getting past the hard bite to it for a gummy candy. But smell-wise, definitely smells the way it's supposed to be. It is called his Rotundity, and it's just because of his shape. Now, this one was the only one that they'd sent me, and I believe it was just a mistake. It happens. This one's a 0 mg, the rest of them are all 3s. Since I normally vape a 3, I kind of waited for this one to do the video, so I wasn't trying to vape on it too long, because anybody who vapes nicotine, if you vape something that doesn't have nicotine for too long, you tend to get a headache, blah, blah, blah. Don't want to bore you with that. I'm going to show you the vape on this, and I will tell you my first impressions on that as well for the video. Real quick before I do that, the cotton that I'm using is Texas Tough by USA_Vape Mama. It is not a pansy-ass cotton ball. It is one of the best cottons that I have had the opportunity to try. So if you have a chance, check out her Instagram page and give it a whirl. So now we're going to try his Rotundity, which is supposed to be a Swedish fish flavor. So as you can tell, like I said, it's a 75-25 mix. So it's going to be a slight bit thicker than what the normal 70-30 is, obviously, but some people might be able to tell a difference, some people may not. It's just all in what you vape. And as you can tell, I've actually gone up to 65. I have been trying it a little bit on some of these flavors just to see how it changes what I'm used to vaping a 60, so it's kind of to see how much of a difference it makes. And it's definitely given a bit more of a flavor push to it, so it's not a bad thing as well. But here's his Rotundity, Swedish Fish, Founding Fathers Liquid on 65. that's wow. Nice clouds, as you can tell, very abundant, very, very solid. If you like Swedish Fish or anything in that style, you will love this juice. Dead on Swedish Fish flavor, dead on. Tail end of it, aftertaste, I get like that red licorice style, kind of in between a red vine and a Twizzler. But as far as for Swedish Fish, I have had them before. If you closed your eyes and just licked an actual Swedish Fish and then vape this, it would be very hard to tell the difference between it as far as to which has the better flavor. Very impressive, very, very solid. For me, it would be a little sweet. It's definitely something that I could vape, but because I'm not a huge candy fan, it would be a little much for me to vape all day. However, Founding Fathers Liquid, you guys have done an amazing job. This is a very solid all-day vape line. There is enough here and enough of a diversity for flavor styles that most people that are looking for a good all-day vape would be very hard-pressed to not find something in this line that would cover their needs. Now, as I said, I didn't get a chance to try the apple pie one, but if that vapes anything like any of these, you guys have an amazing line on your hands right now. I'm telling you all, vaping community, if you have the opportunity, check out foundingfathersliquid.com. Either try a bottle, go in on a bottle with a few friends so you can all try it. Have your shop hit them up for samples. It is a definite option to not only carry in a shop, in your collection, all day vape. It's just very solid. Like I said, my personal preference is the Little Lion. However, there's enough of a diversity in flavor-wise for this to be a good choice for most people. Founding Fathers Liquid, thank you guys so very much for this opportunity and for the set that you sent me. It was an amazing privilege. Vaping community, guys, tokenvaping@gmail.com, here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. Hit me up, follow, like, subscribe, comment, anything that you guys want to know, anything that I can do to help enhance your vaping experience. I will absolutely do everything in my power to do. This is what I love. This is what I support. This is what I'm about. However I can help you guys and help further your vaping experience, I will absolutely do. Until next time, and I'm sorry this ran a little bit longer than I wanted it to, Founding Fathers Liquid, thank you guys again. Check them out at their website and on Instagram. I appreciate it. The honor and pleasure was mine. Vaping community, vape on, vape strong. Have a good night, guys. Thanks.